champion. You listen to Kendrick and Matt on the Slip and Dip podcast.
Oh, beautiful, man.
Woo! Episode 118. Kendrick Johnson, my main man, Matthew Wells, back and better than ever.
Yes, back in action. I'm back in action. Let's get it.
Fresh off the heels of UFC on ESPN, Reyes and Weidman, we got an action-packed, stacked show for y'all. We start off with future champion Shakur Stevenson, who will be fighting for his first belt on Friday. I'll tell you now, if you're a betting person, put your money on him getting the job done. Mm-hmm. And then we followed by the bad finishes. We combine it because he got skipped his intro. We're going to combine it.
Yeah. Then next up, we got UFC contender.
Don't get John Jones mad at you.
In the light heavyweight division, looking for an opportunity to become champ is one Corey Anderson, and then we close out the show with
a special wrinkle.
One of the most entertaining men in the combat sports world, Mr. Shannon, the Cannon. Let's go, champ Briggs,
aka trainer of Logan Paul. He will be training Logan Paul for the aka YouTube fight in 2 weeks.
Yes, hilarious interview as always. That dude is, man, I could talk to that dude all day.
All you gotta do is watch his IG. Let's go, champ. My man's on the surfboard. Let's go, champ. He about to slip and bust his ass. Whoa, champ.
It was hilarious. Dude is hilarious. You guys are gonna enjoy that. But
straight to business.
We gotta recap some fights, man. I'm back. I'm glad to be back in the swing of things, man. The flu had me against the ropes. Ref was stepping in, about to stop the fight, and I started fighting back, man.
You pulled the German Stevens?
Started fighting back. Well, hey, I won the fight though. I'm here to talk about it, man. So yeah. Finally back to it, man. I feel good. Good to be back. Let's recap some fights, shall we?
Anything since and then we kind of had like 3 weeks hiatus. What y'all don't know is me and Matt are cool. We talk a lot, but we purposely have. Well, he been half of it, not purposely. He can't talk because he's been sick. But we have not really talked about combat sports. We talk about our Cowboys, who just got that dub against the Eagles, but we have not talked combat sports. Yes. So we kind of got a variety of things you want to go to. You want to recap some of the previous stuff since we ain't talked.
Well, I don't want to recap everything because Ant Walker came in last episode, held it down.
Props to him. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Ant for filling in for me on short notice, very short notice. I hit him up. Was like, look, man, I got the flu and a kidney infection. I had 2 things going on. And it was kicking my ass. And I couldn't hardly talk. I couldn't eat for 3 days. It was just all bad. And so shout out to Ant Walker. Go check out his work over at sherdog.com. And give him a follow at Ant Walker MMA.
What do you think about the Adesanya and the whole walkout and people making a big deal?
Well, we've been talking about that.
Okay, so
super old news.
So I'm talking. I forget some last time. What do you think about JJ doing JJ things?
I mean, I expected that. I thought she was going to be too big for Michelle, and that's what it was. And unfortunately, Michelle hits that roadblock. If there was an atom block or an atom weight division, she'd be the champ easily in the UFC.
Because nobody at 105 can knock her out. If somebody like JJ didn't knock her out, there's no way somebody at 105 can knock her out.
There's some good fighters at 105 that would give her a nice little challenge. Ayaka Hamasaki is one that comes straight to mind that jumps off the page. But if she had that 105 division, she would definitely be champ or fighting for titles. But I mean, you run into girls who can jump from 125 to 115, like JJ, who was the longest reigning champ ever at 115. Like, that's a tough fight for anybody to win. And JJ did JJ things. So, yeah.
Oh, we'll start off with, I guess, with, more about the situation than me, the Greg Hardy fight. Okay. Greg that came on a couple of times. Y'all people need to give him a chance. He's actually not that bad of a guy.
You're going to trigger some folks.
They get mad. I go on my personal experience. Man had disrespect me. Man does his thing. But every time he gets an octagon, it's controversy.
Well, not every time. Not every time.
Half the times.
It's twice. There's been controversy. One with the illegal knee thing, which, I mean, I get the illegal knee thing's a legal knee. I'm trying to find a clip of him doing this thing here. But I don't think they have it on the YouTube officially. But let me pull up something. But yeah, he had the illegal knee thing, and then this week we have the inhaler gate, so to speak. And for those that don't know what happened, basically, Greg Hardy, in between rounds, asked if he could use his inhaler. He didn't just pull out an inhaler and used it. He asked if he could use it, and he was told yes. Apparently, the person that told him yes ended up being Jeff Nowitzki and not a member of the commission itself.
You go up.
Oh,
I think it's like right after this.
Let's see. Yeah, maybe this is it. Let's see. Oh no!
No, my
this is
bad.
just
My
a
bad.
random clip. Yeah, Kendrick.
There you go. Right
here
there.
it is. Here it is. So yeah, this is the clip right here, and of him asking if he can use his inhaler. I mean, he seemed pretty genuine in asking whether or not he knew or not if it was legal to use it. He said it was USADA approved, everything like that. Listen, here's the thing. There's a couple of different ways to interpret this. First, the first way to interpret it is flat out it's illegal as hell. Because you can't use anything besides water in between rounds to replenish your fluids and things like that.
But time out though, you saw how open that was. Oh, you got like 8 cameras. You got how many?
It's not about
like five commission. But how these people? But yeah, it is. If these people that quote unquote,
he wasn't trying to hide it.
I mean, I say he wasn't trying to hide it, but these people that posted on the rules don't know the damn rules. Like that's crazy that all those people right there, he did it right there in the open, and they did not stop the fight.
Again,
people want to fuss what they want to fuss about when that's the real issue.
Let me explain.
What if you that guy that fought to the no contest? He could have got knocked out, and they supposed to quote unquote stop the fight. All these people are supposed to be there to do their job. So basically, in Florida, they don't know. Not Florida, basically in Massachusetts, they don't know the effing rules.
So here's I'll get to the second part of it again. So I'm still in the first part. The first part is that this is illegal as hell, generally across the board. Again, like you're only supposed to be able to use water, or in some commissions they will allow you to use Gatorade or some other electrolyte drink that is approved beforehand, and that's it. Your cut man comes in, works on your cuts. You get your N-Swell, you get your ice. That's it. Nothing else. You don't see guys with oxygen tanks in between rounds. You don't see guys using any other medical device in between rounds. I'm being serious. Like we see it, like people point to other sports. Oh, you can do this in the NBA, NFL, whatever. Okay, two completely different things. You can do a lot of things in those other sports. You can get medical treatment in between plays. You cannot do that in a fight.
Well, they did it before the fight. Like, why did they do it? You got Bruce Buffer ever in the red corner, and that could be considered legal in Matt Wells' book?
No, because you should not be able to use anything.
The fight started though.
Once you're in the ring,
the fight
that should be it. Once you're in the ring, that should be it. The fight is technically started at that point. Technically.
I heard no
because you have passed all of your checks from your commission. They've checked all your gloves and everything like that. There should be no other illegal substances after that point. So. Here's where it gets a little tricky. So we all agree that look, you can't use anything besides water during a fight. Okay. Now here's where it gets a little fishy. Here's where it gets fishy. Is that some commissions, Massachusetts being one, as we found out, do not have all of these things clearly laid out in their rules verbatim. So if you go to the Massachusetts Athletic Commission and you try to search their rules on consumables, and that's what this is listed under as, for most commissions that have it listed, have it clearly laid out, where it's not kind of like a written, unwritten rule sort of thing. If you go to theirs, they don't have a consumable section. So if you go to some athletic commissions pages, they will have consumables, and it will clearly state water is the only thing that you can have during a fight, and that's it. Or again, like I said, an electrolyte drink that has been approved prior. That's it. This commission does not clearly have that laid out. So if Greg Hardy wanted to make a case with the commission to where, hey, I want my no contest turned back to a win because your rules clearly do not state this, he could have an argument. Despite the fact that everybody and their mama knows you can't be doing this shit during the fight. That's exactly why That's exactly why Dominic Cruz flipped out the way he did. That's exactly why DC flipped out the way he did. DC was like, "What's happening? The fight's over. The fight's over right here. You can't do that." And he's right. He's right. In the general common sense world of combat sports, yes, you're not supposed to do this.
So I'm gonna place you blame on our guy Dean because that was on his watch.
It was under Dean's watch. Now listen, people are asking like, why was Dean even have this on him at this point? Like, okay, if his fighter has an asthma attack, he should probably have it on him. The closest guy to the fighter should probably have it on him just in case of an emergency. If I'm Dean Thomas and I have less at that point when he's asking, he has less than 10 seconds left before he's got to get off the stool, as you saw here in this clip. This whole clip is 16 seconds. And if he hears, yeah, it's fine, out of the corner of his ear, okay, he's going to give it to him. Like, why would he deny him after his fighter just asked who he thought was a commission or somebody representing the commission's interests that says yes? If I'm Dean, I'm not going to question it.
Yeah,
I just heard yes. I just heard yes out the corner of my ear. I'm giving it to him. Here, take it. Get ready.
And Justin Vitsky was he like acting on the UFC's interest, or because I think that's weird that he's a UFC employee, as we know. Why the F is he in the ring during a fight?
He's always cage side. He's not.
He was in the ring, wasn't he?
I think he was cage side because they're always cage side. For USADA and all that stuff. He wasn't in the ring as far as I can tell. I don't believe he was inside the ring.
He's a tall guy. He stands out. He's like a 6'7". He's taller than me. I'm 6'4".
Yeah.
He's like a 6'7" tall white dude.
Yeah, so it's a weird thing because it's one of those laws that should be so common sense that commissions just forget to write it in. Like the Massachusetts Commission does not clearly have it defined in their rules. And so, like I said, like if Greg Hardy and his team and the Kawas, they want to go ahead and try to challenge this and get it back turned to a win, they might have a solid argument because it's not written down like it should be. But again, common sense law is like, nah, you can't do that shit, bro. and again, I don't want this to be a Greg Hardy thing. It's not a Greg Hardy thing. It's if any fighter did this.
You sound like you kind of appalled over there, my brother.
I am because it was crazy. I was like DC.
I didn't watch you live, so I didn't know.
I was like
my Twitter started blowing up because I was covering high school football, and it was crazy. It was halftime, and I planned on watching it, and I started talking to a whole bunch of people, and I'm like, why is my stuff? I thought somebody got knocked out, either him or his opponent, and then I started hearing all that.
Yeah,
he cheated it. He did it again. Like, oh man, I literally wanted to text you, but I knew you were at work. I just said, oh man, and somebody's like, why are you saying that for? Because there was no game.
I was watching at work, and I was just like DC. Like, of course, nobody at work like watches fights really. So I was just sitting there at my desk. I was like,
did you do this?
What is happening?
Did you do the GIF?
Dude, I was doing all that at once. It's like, what is happening right now? So what is happening? I was just seriously, me and DC were sharing the same reactions. Like how is this fight like happening right now? Like, this crazy.
So was it going to the third round or second?
I think it was going to the third. Yeah, going to the third. And the crazy thing was that after the fight, rightfully so, I guess Greg was he was upset because everybody's talking about this. Naturally, people are going to be talking about the most controversial thing. The fight itself was not all that great. Yeah, Greg showed some improvements in his striking. He showed some defensive little wrinkles that he was working on. All that's well and good. The fight itself, overall, though, wasn't all that great.
Why is that?
It just wasn't a great fight.
But you on the school of thought if it's a heavyweight, it go fight 3 rounds. It's a bad fight.
Not necessarily. There's some heavyweight fights where guys are still trading and stuff like that. This was not that. The third round was largely with Greg Hardy spin on his bike.
This guy had power?
Yeah, the dude he was fighting, like, if you look at the dude he was fighting, he's not the most aesthetic looking guy. But he's got power in his hands.
We see Roy Nelson like that.
But he's got power in his hands.
He says the most aesthetically.
Yeah, I mean...
He got that Roy Nelson.
He's not quite Roy Nelson, but, I mean, it is what it is. Like, he's got power in his hands, and that's what Greg was trying to avoid most of that third round because he knew he had the first 2 rounds in the bag.
Gotcha. So do you think he can find somebody tougher next time? Or
yeah, he definitely deserves somebody tougher. But gas tank is an issue we really got to get that figured out because
we got to get Ding for the answers. Ding, holla at your boy, Ding.
Yeah, we got to get the gas tank figured out because he gassed. He needed an inhaler. Listen.
You say you still hot for 2 days later, bro.
I'm not piling on Greg Hardy, the fighter in particular. I'm talking about just the situation as a whole. You know, like I'm not one that's gonna beat up on Greg Hardy at any opportunity. I don't do that. That's not me. Like half of the MMA Twitter. MMA Twitter just sits around waiting for Greg Hardy. Like, oh boy, I get to tweet something for likes finally. Like, congratulations.
And then we move off of Inhaler Gate. The Yair Rodriguez and Jeremy Stevens fight was very entertaining, but it shows why neither one of them will be a world champion. They both fought a dumbass fights. Yair should even got touched the way he did his thing in the first and second round, and Jeremy Stevens did not make any adjustments. For him to have fought like 25 times in the octagon, like the second most behind Cowboy Cerrone. How do you wait till the third round to finally make adjustments? Well, I don't want to get kicked in the stomach no more. Let me go on and switch this up.
Well, that's part of the reason why Jeremy Stevens was so upset that the eye poke happened and then that this fight was now 3 rounds, because he knew a 5-round fight favored him. And we saw that. He dominated that third round. Dominated that third round. Yeah,
if it was 5, I don't think he was definitely turning
100%. If this was a 5-round fight, Jeremy Stevens would have won that. Yair obviously came out strong first 2 rounds and then did not in the third.
No,
did not look good in the third.
No, he was in survival mode,
and that's when you credit Jeremy Stevens for that toughness, that veteran savvy.
That referee, people call. I'm like some of these referees that got these reps. It's like nobody cares. That dude did a great job refereeing because he knew his fighters. He knew the type of fight, and he gave Jeremy Stevens every opportunity. He absorbed some damage, but Jeremy was rolling with a lot of that to me.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there was a lot of bad blood between these two. Like, you saw, like, right.
But he did a great job refereeing. He gave him every opportunity.
Yeah.
He treated it like it was a title fight because of the hype and the bad blood. Like, this was close as you can get to a main event without it being a main event.
Right. Yeah, we got robbed of 2 rounds.
Or even a number 1 contender type fight. It had that much intensity.
For sure. And, I mean, it played out exactly like everyone was hoping the first one would have played out. It was a damn good fight. But, you know, we were all expecting 5 rounds the first time around. We got shorted 2. And it would have been really interesting to see if Yair could have done something crazy to bounce back, because it was trending towards the way of Jeremy Stevens. But, you know, it is what it is. Unfortunately for Stevens, he takes the L and goes on. Main event, man. Main event status.
We saw 2 things. We saw a contender born and a career. Father Tom tapped on that shoulder. Well, he's been tapping, but it's over with for our man Chris Weidman. Great guy. One of the few people when I first started that gave me a shot. This was right after the Anderson fight. And it's like, man, you knocked out my guy.
Yeah, right.
But he was a great dude. It's like, you can't even not like him. If you've been around Chris Weidman, he's a legitimately class act. And me and you both went to Oklahoma 2 years ago and literally saw Dominic Reyes. I got to look up who he beat. It was some nobody dude, but I remember. Let me look up. Right, give me 2 seconds. He beat Joe Chim Christensen, and we looked and said, this guy's gonna be a problem. And I'm like, if he can get better and get him a little wrestling with that power, he might be able to see Mr. Jones. He should get that date in the next 6 months.
Yeah, he should definitely get the next shot at John Jones. I mean, he's got the undefeated record,
but
he's got all the boxes checked.
He has not beaten up. No, he has not. He has not been a top 5 opponent though.
Here's the problem.
I'm just saying, you say all the boxes checked. I'm saying technically he don't. I'm not saying what you're saying is not right, but it's not fully right.
Here's why that box doesn't apply in this situation is because everybody else ranked ahead of him has either already got their shot or they're hurt, or I don't know why Daniel Cormier is still ranked number 2. He hadn't fought in the light heavyweight division in what?
A year.
Year and a half? Year and a half now? So, again, fluidity and rankings and all that. I don't want to get into all that right now. But yeah, man. So he deserves that next shot. And it's one of those things that we always talk about when we're talking about contenders for John Jones. It's not going to be some guy with 6 losses on his record. It's not going to be some guy with 8 losses on his record. It's not going to be some guy with double-digit losses on his record.
On that criteria, absolutely. We got somebody with Anthony Smith record and credentials that got a shot. No, I'm not trying to say he doesn't deserve a shot. I'm just saying, like you say, he checked off all the boxes, but technically he has not. He has a puncher's chance.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about this fight, like, this is kind of like a little bit of fool's gold in a sense, because you do get a former champion. You get a former champion, albeit in a lighter weight class. And Chris Weidman was 1-4
going
into this fight.
It's knocked out all 4 of those losses.
Yeah, Chris Weidman
He's not been the same since that Walko fight or the UL knee.
Chris, that fight right there has been the turning point for both of their careers because they both have been subpar. Yes,
I would say I would think the UL one more for Weidman because I was there. He was winning that fight. He had UL on the ropes, let his guard down in the middle of the third round of a 3-round fight, and got put to sleep. It has not been the same.
I'm talking about the results since Luke Rockhold fought.
It wasn't for both their careers, though.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Walko, that has not been a turning point. The Walko's
has been. Luke Rockhold is like 2-5.
Yeah, but Rocco's turning point was when he lost to Michael Bisping. It wasn't when he lost to Chris Weidman.
Disagree on that. Let us know in the comments if you agree with me or Kendrick.
Yeah, because you
agree with me.
Because when he came into the fight with Michael Bisping, who was the favorite? I'll wait.
That's because Michael Bisping filled in on 48 hours notice.
I was just saying that's when his career turned. You can say that Weidman's turned at 194 and Rocco's turned at 199. Absolutely, but how you turn and you become a champion?
He was champion. He became champion that night when he beat Chris.
Yeah, I know. What I'm saying, how does yours turn bad? Like you make it seem like
because he lost after that. Huh? He lost after that.
But he turned that night.
He didn't have a title defense, right?
My point is,
please tell me he didn't have a title defense.
He didn't have a title defense, but it turned that night at 199 in Los Angeles. Just like Quist's turn when he got dropped and he lost the middleweight title.
So after that moment, what happened after the moment with Chris Weidman? He lost. Okay, thank you.
But that's when it turned. You said it. You said the fight when they fought at 194, both their careers turned.
Yes, after that point, their careers turned. Both of them. After that point, their careers turned. Both of their careers turned.
Nah. Yeah, go on and vote on these people. Walko's turned at 199. Weidman's turned at 194. Like I said, if his had turned so bad, he would have been the favorite at 199.
Oh my goodness.
Just saying.
He would have been because he was a champion coming in, and he was fighting a guy on 48 hours notice.
And then when he got knocked out, that's when his career turned because he hadn't been the same since. Father Tom knocked on that shoulder. We just didn't see it.
After December 12th, 2015, 1, 2, 3-1. So you can go back to this day right here. That was his last strong win. David Branch, all right, it was a good win. It was a good win, but then lose to Yoel Romero, knockout fashion.
But since 199.
No, bro.
You proved my point. Since 199. Now, if this would have happened, he hauled off and he would have lost. Then he wins a fight, and then he fought Bisping and lost like that. Then you talking about something. But that was directly. Weidman's career shifted at 194. His career shifted at 199, and they both on their way outside the sport. They're both about the same age. You get that mid to late 30s, at 36, 39 range. If you've been in the game over 10 years, for a time coming a knocking. That's why I keep saying the person that will beat John Jones or beat his Chris Weidman, we might know him, but if we do, he don't got more than 10 fights right now. He's between 22, 23 to 27 in that age range. He'll be late 20s, maybe 30. John Jones will be 36 and will be that person to be his Father Time, tap on that shoulder.
Maybe. If John fights that long.
Yeah, he might be smart to get out, but I don't know. He acted a fool. He don't need the money, so he don't have to stay around.
Yeah. Never know.
That's what'll be the problem for him.
Never know.
But Dominic Reyes could be that guy. Shit, it may happen next year.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna put money on it, but it's like the thing with Dominic Reyes I don't get is they said that does make no sense. You're supposed to be a mixed martial artist, as we see especially on the women's side. If you're one dimensional, Mackenzie Dern, you ain't gonna be able to win. You got to be able to throw some hands. How you sit there and say you got out-wrestled by a non-wrestler because you wasn't expecting it? You got to have plan B and plan C in your life because plan A going to F up. So how you going to come with that mentality against the great John Jones? Who's the best, or right up there with Habib is one of the best wrestlers in MMA. Like, it ain't going to work out for you. No matter what, okay, I trained for that this time because if you look, I'm not a technical guru. The way he got through Chris Weidman's tough takedowns and he got back up and then he stuffed him on the cage he simply was the bigger guy. Had nothing to do with technique and stuff. That shit ain't gonna work against John Jones.
It was a technical get up.
You had to get up, but the way he was fighting on that cage, that ain't gonna work against John Jones. You gonna get right back down and not get back up. Or if you do, you're going to catch a couple elbows. You might get your wig split.
Yeah, I think he's more likely to catch elbows because John likes to beat people at what they're best at. So what Reyes has proven what he's best at is striking, counter game.
And he's good enough to counter John with the left and change his life.
John is going to want to do that. John is going to want to go first. He's going to want to counter his counters because John's stubborn like that.
He has to catch up with him.
I don't know if it will. We haven't seen it just yet.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah. So
it's a follow time for everybody.
Yeah, that's about it for that card that we're going to talk about before we get into these interviews. Coming up this weekend, UFC, Damian Maia's taking on Ben Askren in the main event. And
Funky. That's like the most corniest nickname to me.
Ben Askren coming off the first knockout loss of his career, devastating fashion.
Devastating.
Yeah, all the way over in Singapore.
KO of the year.
KO of the ever. Yeah. Craziness. So he's bouncing back, looking to bounce back from that. It's going to be a grappler's delight matchup, so to speak. Which could end up actually being a stand-up war and a very sloppy one. That's how it goes sometimes.
Oh, our man Michael Johnson. We'll see if he do a Michael Johnson thing. He don't tell it what he gonna do.
That's gonna be a nice little stand-up fight against Stevie Ray.
Random markers, Ashley Yoder, no. They don't got no I'm interested in seeing. I will not be waking up in the middle of the night for this.
You're not going to get up at 4 a.m. Central Time to watch this?
Nah.
Come on, man. Come on. Yeah. Crochet Boss is on there. Oh, there you go. All right. Yeah, it's a decent little card. Again, it's over in Singapore, so naturally stateside for Central Time. Prelims start at 4. Main card starts at 7 for us. I'll probably get up and watch some of this madness. Why not? Why not? Why not? It's better than having to be stuck to the computer at midnight. So, who knows? Who knows? We'll see it. I'll watch it unfold. Guys, if you're not to hit that subscribe button, please do so already. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. We would appreciate it. Help the visibility out. If you're feeling benevolent and you want to throw some cash our way, we got the Cash App. We got the Venmo links in the description. So throw some cash. Helps keep the show going. We would appreciate it. Yeah, that's going to be it for our intro. Went a little long because, hey, you know what? Why not? It's our show. We do what we want. We got 3 great interviews coming your way. Enjoy them. Shakur Stevenson, Corey Anderson, and Shannon. Let's go, champ. Briggs. Shannon the Cannon Briggs. But let's go, champ. You know what it is. Enjoy the rest of the show. We'll be back next week with more great content for you guys. Slip and dip back in your life. Full strength, full throttle. You know what it is. Peace.
Please welcome back to the Slip and Dip Podcast. One of the best featherweight contenders in the world today. He'll be fighting this Friday for his first world championship, the WBO featherweight belt, Mr. Shakur Stevenson. Thanks for coming back, Shakur.
What's up? What's good?
What's your mindset, man? You just like 5 days away from making a lifelong dream come true.
Shit, I'm good. I'm focused. I'm locked in.
So is there any difference like heading in, like knowing this is your big first major title opportunity?
I mean, it's a little different, but I mean, shit, I don't really think I've ever been this focused before. Like, I think I'm kind of like in a different type of zone, and I'm just waiting for that time, so.
You kind of broke up at the end there. You say you was waiting for that time?
Yeah, I'm just waiting on my time. That's it.
Oh, okay. So is that extra focus coming in because it's that title, or is it just this point in your career, or is it a combination of both, or?
I mean, I think it's a combination of both. I think the title kind of got me a little bit extra more motivated, so I've been putting a lot of work in, and now it's time to execute.
How much validation a belt will give you? The fact that some people's like, he living off that Olympic hype. They trying to annoy him already. He ain't done nothing. What's his resume? How big a deal is to get that title on your resume so people don't have to respect you being a champ?
I mean, I don't really pay too much mind on what people say. Even when I become champ, they're going to have a lot to say. So that don't really bother me. I'm just focused on October 26th, and I'm ready to put on a show.
Does it blow your mind the fact that you're going to be 22 years old and already a world champion? That's crazy. Some dudes be in their 30s before they get a belt.
Yeah, that's a short-term goal. I'm trying to win my world title and unify my first fight. And I want to do that in like 14 fights and be 22 years old while I'm doing that. So that's really my that's a big goal for me, like that I'm looking for.
Okay, yeah, that'd be a pretty dope thing to do, man. Yeah, like being so young, it's kind of crazy to, it's like you're on this fast track. It seems. Do you think like that was kind of like the process lined out for you at like once you became pro? Like you knew that, hey, I'm gonna be in these title fights early.
Yeah, I kind of knew that because like the USA ain't bring back a medal in a long time, man. I think I was one of the first people to bring a medal back. So I knew from my amateur experience I was going to be one of the people that was on the fast track. I did not know it was going to be this fast, but I knew it was going to be fast.
Have you gone into your grown man strength? We've seen you got more pop the last 3 or 4 fights, and you've been getting people out of there. So you think it's the right time, the opportunity, with you going into your grown man strength and getting people out of there?
I mean, shit. I definitely been getting stronger and stronger, but I know now the time was now regardless. We got a tough opponent in front of us. We gonna take care of him October 26th.
So like for those that don't know anything about him, like what are some of the challenges that he's gonna bring for you in Gonzalez?
I mean, he been pro since I think 2012. So he got a lot of experience, and I think that's really like the main thing that he really gonna try to use on me, his experience. But I think it's levels. Like I think I'm on a different level than him.
Do you have to get him out of there to make a statement, or it's just about getting your hand raised and getting that belt, regardless if it's okay fight or not? You just want to get that win and get that belt.
I don't really care if I knock him out, as long as I go in there and win. If I knock him out, that's a bonus. But if I go in there, I win my fight 12 rounds, and I box beautifully. That's a win for me. So I'm trying to impress myself, not nobody else.
So when you talked about he's got that experience over you, like that usually comes like when I think of when guys say they got experience over me, like that tells me that you may be thinking that he's going to try to drag it out, like make it like a kind of a dirtier fight, kind of do his little veteran tricks kind of thing. Is that the kind of stuff you're talking about, or is there something else that he does that you got to look out for?
Yeah, I think that he got a lot of little tricks he's gonna try to use on me. He was trying. I sparred him before, so I kind of seen him try a couple of tricks on me then. So I know that he's gonna try to use a lot of veteran tricks, like pro tricks, and I got a lot of tricks up my sleeve too.
I know you got your story of the sport. How much in a weird way does it give you bragging rights over catches that you won't have to see sometime in your career? The Teofimos, what's his name? What's my guy? Devin Haney's of the world that you're going to see somewhere down the line. How cool would it be like, hey, I got that real title first. I know y'all talk amongst each other. That's something that you're going to be able to bring up because you're going to get your belt first?
Nah, I mean, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, so I ain't really tripping off that. I got to make sure that once I win this belt, I'm going to be able to defend it and fight good with it. And I mean, it's cool. I'm cool with Devin, so, but I ain't really like Devin in like a different type of situation, so I can't really just rub that in his face because I'll probably like feel bad because
gotcha. Yeah,
it ain't like he really got the opportunity to fight for a title right now.
Yeah, like kind of along that though, like once you get this belt, you're gonna be dealing with a lot more red tape when it comes to like crossing promotional lines and things like that. So is that something that you're gonna be kind of more vocal about, being like, man, I don't want to deal with all this other side of the street mess. I just want to fight the best.
Nah, it's definitely that's that been going on a lot lately. Like Terrence having a problem fighting like people on the other side of the street, and it's definitely gonna happen. But it's a lot of people on top rank and on this side of the street, I guess, that I could fight. So I got Carl Frampton and Josh Warrington and them type of guys. So I think that I'm okay, and I think I'm gonna be okay when I go to 132.
That's good. How cool is the fact that Top Rank from day one has treated you like a star, and like kind of not that you owe them, but to reward them for having that faith in you coming from the jump. It wasn't like, well, we need to see him fight a few times. They've been on you from day one as, hey, this guy's gonna be that next big thing. And Bob Arum, before you even fought, he would be a multi-time world champion. That's the first time I really. I'm like, okay, I saw you fight in the Olympics. So I'm like, Bob Arum's saying this. He got all the goods in. Slowly but surely, every ring, ding, 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 ding. You been putting them hands on him.
Definitely. It's a good feeling, but I actually earned it. Like, it was a fight, like 2 fights ago when I fought Christopher Diaz, and Top Rank and them told me not to take the fight. Like, they told me they think I'm taking the fight too early, and basically they didn't feel like I could win the fight. But I went in and I dominated every single round, and actually like earned that. Like I earned the fact that they believe in me now. Like after that fight, that kind of made them a believer. So I'm gonna keep making them a believer.
Has there anybody been like coming at you sideways, kind of like in that same vein, talking about, yeah, you too young for this, like peers in the boxing world?
There's a lot of people that say a lot of stuff in the boxing world. There's a lot of people in the boxing world that don't know nothing about boxing. So I don't be tripping. I think I'm 22 years old. I feel like I'm ahead of a lot of people in the boxing world as far as boxing knowledge and knowing the game. And I don't watch from the Terrence Crawfords and Andre Wards and all these type of fighters. I watched them come up, and I took my notes. Like I took my notes. I know more than a lot of people in this boxing game, and I don't really pay too much mind on what they got to say or their opinion, because a lot of people just be talking. 1 minute, if you looking good in one fight, they gonna praise you. If you have a mediocre fight, just like how Teofimo had his last fight, they kind of talk bad about you, or oh, he gonna lose to Comey, or this, that, and the third. Like, dang, man, 1 minute I'm up. Next minute, y'all looking at me like I ain't this, and then I come and perform again, and now I'm this again. Like, so I don't really pay them no mind.
How big a deal is to have mentors like that? You got a future Hall of Famer in Andre Ward, and you got somebody Terrence who's building his resume that more likely will be future Hall of Fame, and you just call them up just like from lines that had nothing to do with boxing, and it's been their ear, and they're there for you, and they want you to be successful. Yeah,
it's definitely amazing. And even like with Andre Ward, like I done been to camps, inside camps with him, and watch him spar and see him training and see his mindset and everything. Like stuff like that kind of made me into who I am today. Like it kind of upped my game. Like even being in training camp with Terrence Crawford, I get to spar him and watch him spar. Like I honestly feel like I learned more watching Terrence Crawford spar than me sparring him. Like I feel like all that up my game. Like it's definitely cool having these type of guys around, and it's definitely cool having them. They come over my training camp house. They was in this camp. Like both of them was at the house this camp. Like we was just enjoying each other company.
That's dope, man. Yeah, so you got your first title opportunity coming up, man. So you're already looking at like, you know, how you gonna plan on celebrating the win?
I might go to Vegas and go watch Canelo Kovalev.
Okay.
Who you got winning that fight?
Not a bad way to
Canelo. I'm a Canelo fan. Yeah.
I noticed that. I know you study people. Have you been at it because you already a naturally slick fighter and you got great head movement? But I noticed you've been really focused on that body attack each and more fights. Is that kind of like that Canelo influence? I be seeing you putting in that work.
I mean, it's not just a Canelo influence. There's a lot of fighters that go to the body real good. If you look at Andre Ward,
yeah,
he attacked Kovalev's body constantly.
I went to Kovalev 1 and Ward. That's the best fight I saw. He had to win all 6 rounds, and they said 114, 113, and no. That's one of the craziest moments of fights I've covered.
Yeah, most definitely. I was there too.
Yeah, man.
How much does something like that inspire you to, like, I know you just starting off your career, but like, of course, you want to win those fights, but just being in that type of atmosphere where you might have to go back and forth and bite down. Dre got knocked down, had to get up, had to bite down the mouthpiece. And how much do you like look forward to get into that? You know, it's going to be hard to do, but it's part of the game.
Yeah, that's greatness. That's greatness. Actually, like during that time, I was talking about quitting boxing. Like, honestly, after the Olympics, I was hurt. Like, I was really hurt after the Olympics. Like, because I had trained my whole life to win a gold medal, and I had fell short. So, and then I fell short in the finals by a split decision. So I was hurt. Like, I had took like 2-3 months off. Man, I watched Dre and Kovalev, and I just watched greatness, man. Once I seen Andre Ward and see greatness all over him, like, he got dropped in the second round, and to come back and make it a even fight going into the last 2 rounds, and for him to even pick up the pace nonstop, landing clean punches, making sure that he the man in them last rounds. I'm like, man, that was something beautiful to watch, and it kind of motivated me to want to turn pro right after that. I'm like, man, once I seen him do that, I'm like, man, I can't wait till I could get in this position and get myself into a fight where it's like it's a 50-50 fight, and people going against me, and a lot of people think I'm going to lose, and I shut a lot of people up. I can't wait for them type of moments.
I know you keep up with who's saying what, who's doing what, and all that craziness. I hope you see that.
I feed off that.
Huh?
I feed off of that.
You see we on your team, so when you get these belts, Slip and Dip didn't just pop up. We've been rocking with you.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I be taking my notes. Y'all good?
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we're not trying to. Do you like keep like notes, or like do you like specifically go to find out who's talking trash about you? Like, how do you like?
Like, do you watch Fight Hype and Fight Hub and the Ring Digital and all the interviews?
I watch everything. I sit at home, and while I'm in training camp, I sit there and I watch. I get on YouTube. I watch everything. I watch what people say about me. I watch the good, what people say about me. I watch the bad. Like I said, I just take my notes. Like, I don't really actually take notes down, but it's mental notes. Like, it's all stuck in my head. Like, I know what was said, when was said, and everything. Like, I don't know. That's just the type of person I am, I guess. Like, I just sit there. I don't be having nothing to do in training camp anyway. It's not strange.
Right.
Do you fight often bigger? Like, I've been in people like Earl Spence camp and Sean Porter, and they fight dudes that are good 20, 25 pounds bigger than them. Is that something you do? Is that something you kind of do as you get more experience? Because I know at the end of the day, it's still dangerous because y'all still throwing leather, even I know y'all not trying to hurt each other.
Are you saying like sparring?
Yeah, sparring stuff. You get way bigger people than you?
I've been doing that since I was like a kid. I came up off of sparring people that was bigger than me. Like, they don't really faze me. Like, when you skillful, like just as skillful as I am, I don't really think that do something to me. Like, size do play a part. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a real good fighter. Like, I spar Terrence all the time. I know that if I'm in there with Terrence and he a 147 pounder, but walk around at a certain weight, like, man, I could get in there and get in the ring with these people I'm fighting, and there'd be no problem. Cakewalk.
How much is it the fact that I know you're an East Coast guy, at the fact on the West Coast, is that kind of like this is a road trip? You get away on the last fight, it was at home, it was a lot of pressure on you. Do you think is it actually less pressure on you with this being a title fight and it being way away from home, or the same thing, just a different state?
Nah, I think it's kind of going to turn me up. I think that because I feel like I'm closer to his part of town. Like, I feel like it's an hour drive from where his people stay in. I think that a lot of people from his place gonna come down, so I think he's gonna turn me up. Like, I feed off that type of energy. Like, since I was an amateur, most of my amateur fights, when I go overseas, I'm fighting overseas fighters in they backyard. So I think that's kind of been like my best performances when I fight them type of fights.
And like we know, like I see your fights, and we know we talked a couple times. Are we gonna see you more in the media once as the higher you get, or that's just like your personality? Because like you kind of lay low, will pop up. I see you at an event or two, and then I won't see you for a couple months until you fight. Is that all by design, or we gonna see you be more vocal? Kind of how Terrence has gotten more vocal over the last year. The more he's kind of got bigger. Is that your plan? Because I know you thought about everything you do. It's not like on a whim.
Nah, I don't really got no control over that. Like, I'm just the type of person. I don't really care for certain stuff. I kind of stay in my lane. Like I don't like jumping outside of my lane. So I don't really care for it. But if it come to me, then I ain't gonna stop it. Like I ain't really no boring type of person. Like I got my own type of personality.
We see it more and more. The more I see you on the stage, the more it come out.
Yeah.
Slowly starting to come out of your shell a little bit, huh?
Yeah, just slowly. It's gonna happen though.
I was just in your neck of the woods. I stayed in Plainfield for a week of the Triple G fight with my cousin. He owns that Chick-fil-A in Woodbridge. If you in Woodbridge, come holler at him. He'll take care of you.
Okay. I don't stay in Jersey no more though.
Oh, what's your home base?
I'm born and raised. Home base is New Jersey, but I live in Virginia.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. Well, we're on the heels, or not on the heels, but we're just right around the corner from what's going to be your fourth fight this year. This going to be like that same type of pace you're going to keep going into 2020?
Yeah, most definitely. As I win this title, I told you I want to unify. As I unify, then I'm going up to 130, and I want all the names at 130. Like, I heard Santa Cruz just went up to 130. Oscar Valdez, I need him ASAP. Like, he got to get in the ring with me. I was his mandatory. He just vacated the title and moved up. I don't mind him being my first fight at 130.
So basically, Shakur Stevenson want all the smoke at 130.
I want all the smoke. I don't think none of these dudes could beat me. I feel like, don't get me wrong, boxing, it's a lot of good boxers out there, but it's a lot of boxers that's up there that's not really that good.
Hey, you said old boy just dropped the title and ran away, huh?
Man, I wanted that fight so bad. And then I'm fighting somebody that got the same. I guess his manager. I don't know. I think they planned that. Like that was part of their plans. I think. They got the same manager, and now I'm fighting his dude. Man, them people crazy.
Before we let you get out of here, here's a two-part question. What are 3 things you have to do to be successful on Friday? And have you thought about that moment when they say, and new WBO?
One, I got to have fun. As long as I'm having fun, nobody can beat me. 2, I got to use my jab. My jab is the key to beating anybody. And 3, don't take no punches.
There you go. I like it.
And what do you think the emotion is going to be inside you when they say, and new WBO featherweight champion?
I don't know. I'm gonna try not to cry. I might shed a little tear or saying, I don't know. We'll see.
Man, can't wait for it, man. Going down on the 26th. First title opportunity, WBO World Featherweight title. Shakur Stevenson, best of luck, my man.
Yes, sir. I'm about to go in the gym right now and work.
Please welcome back to the Slip and Dip podcast. One of the best UFC 205ers in the world. He'll be back in the cage at UFC 244 in good old New York when he takes on Johnny Walker, Mr. Corey Anderson, friend of the show. Thank you for coming on, man. What do you think about your division, man? Y'all division, all the smoke didn't went up in the last few weeks.
I was talking to somebody yesterday, the division is finally shaking. It's good, now everybody just thinking John Jones is going to be the only challenge and nobody's going to get there. Now it's kind of like there's so many of us that are coming up that have moved weight classes, that came in the division, whatever it is. There's a lot of us making noise, and everybody has a possibility to give them a challenge.
Were you impressed by Dominic Reyes' performance over Chris Weidman, or you thought that was going to happen with him being the bigger guy?
I didn't think it was going to happen like that, but I literally told my coach when we was trying to fight Dominic Reyes at one point, and we trained with Chris, and I told him the other day, I was like, I think Chris can beat him if Chris don't try to strike with him. If Chris just stay distance and wait till he missed and take him down, he can get him. But if he's trying to attack and get him pushing backwards, Dominic is really good at striking backwards. He's really crisp striking backwards. Like, look at what he did to Jared Cannonier. Yeah. Knocked him out backwards, and Jared is a beast. I told him, like, he catch him going backwards, he's going to get caught. And that's exactly what he did. And yesterday when I saw the card, I talked to my coach. Yesterday, because the fight was Friday. He was like, you called it, man. You said exactly that. You said he would take him down with his takedown, but if he go backwards and get caught, it could be bad. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I study film. I dissect people like that. So I knew if we got that fight, that was going to be something I had to worry about. Don't go charging forward because he can catch you going backwards. And, you know, he's good. Can't take that from him. He's good at fighting on his back foot. That's something Anderson Silva was really good at, and not many people can do going backwards. So I give him that, but at the same time, I wasn't that impressed. No, nothing against Chris or anything, but it's like he still hasn't beat anybody in the top 5 in our division, you know. So yeah, you beat Chris Weidman. He was a champion. Yes, I will give you that. He was a legend in his division. But when he can do that to somebody ranked in the top 5, then I'll say, all right, now you're doing something.
Yeah, I think it was kind of crazy how not everybody, but there was a lot of people talking about how if Chris Weidman won that, you know, it was going to be title shot, and he was going to have a shot against John Jones and all this stuff.
He's walking and get the title shot like that, like Conor McGregor.
It's kind of crazy.
They did it for Luke, though, man. It's because they got a name. You know, they got a name. They pull a following. And it's just like I had to sit down with Hunter, one of the UFC owners, and they told me just the reason I haven't got the title shot is because the needle doesn't move, you know? When we say your name, when we put you in matchups, it ain't like people jump to almost not, oh, my God, Corey Anderson fighting John Jones. They booking fights now off of who's selling tickets, who's going to make them money. And, you know, Chris Weidman, being the UFC 85 champ, at one point, the guy that beat Anderson Silva, that great, that GOAT, say he beat Dominic Reyes, who's 11-0, ranked number 4. Oh, snap. They can put hype behind that. His first fight at 205, he beat an undefeated guy nobody could beat, and maybe he can beat another GOAT, you know? So that's why they would promote that. You know, it ain't like he went out there and beat the people in a division to claim his shot, but he has the title of defeating a GOAT already. So why not give him another chance to do it against John Jones if he won that fight?
But he was 1-4 in his last 5 in his own division, where he was a quote unquote legend of his division and a champion. I mean, that's why he moved up to 205. It's just like, all right, let me try to get a fresh start again. So
yeah, I mean,
crazy. It was just like, all right, yeah, let's throw him in this title picture with John Jones. It's kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I mean, even Luke Rocco was the same way. He was 1-4 as well. All knockouts on his losses. He came up and fought Jan Block, which a guy I demolished, you know. And they said if he beat him, he was getting a title shot. I've heard that from the mouth of the matchmakers and everything myself. It was like, because they kept telling me, you should have took that fight, because now if Luke wins, he gets a title shot. Like, that makes sense? That makes sense.
But see, UFC don't make no sense, though.
It doesn't anymore. You know, it got to the point, like I said, it's when I got into the sports, because I knew Matt Hughes and all those guys. Matt Hughes used to train me. It was just like the wrestling mentality. If you're the best, you beat the guys ranked above you, you get his spot, and you beat the top people until you get to the title. That's what drew me to the UFC, to be a one-on-one contact sport. There's no excuses. At the end of the day, you beat this guy, you take his spot, and you move up. But now it's kind of like since Conor McGregor then came in and made a talking sport, he done made everybody in the office, running office size, millionaires and billionaires. And they realize that we can make money off this. You know, we're going to change the game. It's not going to go off who deserves it. It's who's going to talk it up, who's going to hype it, who can sell us the tickets to sell out the arena and get us paid today. And that's what it is. There's no other reason to say it. I'm the only person in 205 that beat top 5 guys. All top 10 in the last, 7 fights. The last 2 was top 5. I'm the only one in the division that can say that. And I'm the only one that's not ranked in the top 5. And the only one that's not getting close to a title fight. But the guy that's coming in that hasn't fought top 10 or anybody, they beat unranked guys, but it was exciting. People paid money. People was putting money in their pockets. So guess what? We're going to put them on a headline pay-per-view. That pay-per-view going to sell. The tickets going to sell, and we getting paid. And that's just what it is.
So we know you're a great person outside the ring, outside the cage and inside the cage. Does that make you want to shit, I got to go out of character and do some gangster stuff just to get somebody's attention for the money? Or you compose with being a true professional in and outside the cage, even if it's not costing you money?
I mean, for a little bit, it got in my head to start doing that, and everybody thought that thing I did with John Jones going to the signing, that was me trying to do that, but that was planned a long time ago. That was announced to me about 6 months ahead that he was coming. It was like, of course I'm going to let my presence be known. You're in my town. But it's kind of like I told Karen Bryant when we talked, a couple weeks ago in L.A. I told her, yeah, at the same time, it's just like people jumping on fake. You know, you can act fake as you wanna. You're gonna get fake fans, and once it go bad, they're gonna fall off. I enjoy having my 50,000 fans because I know those are my sincere fans. I don't have to worry about my fans leaving when I lose. Just like you guys been like I told Jenny, she's like, well, how'd you know these guys? My wife, like I met them when I was on the Ultimate Fighter, like my first preview, and that's why I still interview with them. They ain't no big name. You don't hear them all over the TV, but I rap with the Slip and Dip podcast because every time I see Kendrick at an event, whether I'm fighting or he's just there or we run into each other, we cool like that. It's been like that since I came off Tough in 2014. So I pay homage to that, and I know even after my losses, Kendrick still didn't hit me up and asked me to be on the podcast. You know, you got some guys get you on there when you're on a winning streak. Then when you lose, you won't hear from them again until your name is hot. Then they calling you. I don't like that. We don't do fake friends where I'm from.
Appreciate that love right there. That would be on Twitter, folks. That's what we're talking about.
100%. We're definitely going to throw that out as a little clip, a little snippet. For sure. But yeah, man, like kind of what you're saying, like, you know, kind of drumming up the interest and getting the, you know, the I guess the more casual viewers. Like, you think this matchup with Johnny Walker is a guy? Because he kind of got a little bit of that, like where he got more casual people interested. You know, he came in doing all the craziness, you know, doing the dancing, all that kind of stuff. You think this is a guy that's you can steal some of that shine from?
100%. That was why we took the fight. You know, they were throwing a lot of crazy names: Khalil Roundtree, Alex Rexha. All these guys ranked way below me, but none of like what I was. I wanted a guy ranked above me. I wanted somebody ranked above. I earned that. But when they said Johnny Walker, you know, at first I said it too, like, he's ranked below. Why would we take it? Then I sat down with my wife and the coaches and my manager, and you got to think about it. Right now, Johnny Walker is the hottest name in it. Like, his name is higher than John Jones right now. You know, and I thought about it, you know what? That's right. So I made the post. Like I said, I wanted to dethrone a king, but now I'm going to have to derail a train. And that's fine with me because I'm just going to, either way, I'm going to get the attention I need from the fight, whether it's John Jones or Johnny Walker. You know, not taking, just because Johnny Walker is ranked below, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it, because the kid, he's exciting. He is exciting. And he can catch you anywhere like he did the guys. You just got to be ready. I got to be on my toes. I have to do what Corey Anderson does when Corey Anderson comes in there with his A game. The same Corey Anderson to be a Lear Latifi, Glover Teixeira. All my tough fights, when I went out there and dominated, I had to go out there with that mentality times 300 and just be ready to go out there and do my thing. And if I beat him like I know I can, like I should, like I prepared to, I should definitely steal that attention from everybody that say Johnny Walker is next. They're going to be like, man, Corey just did that to Johnny. He's definitely the guy to beat Corey Anderson. And that's what's going to get the media talking, and that's when the UFC will finally start respecting me, I feel.
So you think, I know a lot of y'all, when y'all analyze a fight, you look at somebody's path to victory. So other than cut you with something crazy, which you just admitted that he can because he can do that to anybody, is there any way he can beat you? Because we know you're the better wrestler. Like, as long as you stay with the basic game plan, can you beat this guy? Make it easy. I
can beat anybody in this division. Kendrick, you didn't see me grow in this, and you know me. You follow me. You see how I work. I don't. It got to a point where I realized I was working super hard, but I wasn't working smart and learning much. You know, I was always the hardest worker in the room, but I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Since I got knocked out those 2 times by Jimmy and OSP, those are when I realized, yeah, you work hard, but it's little mistakes that you're making. So it's time to get to the gym, and we're going to work little mistakes every day. We're not going to work as hard until it's time. And now when I put all those together, focusing on those little details with the cardio I have, with the hard work and the pressure I put on, it's bad days for everybody. You know, so I can beat anybody from John Jones to Khalil Roundtree to the newest dude they just signed. If they sign somebody today to 205, I guarantee you match up on my best day and it's going to be smoke. And on my worst day, it's still going to be smoke. That's my mindset now.
Where you get your cardio tank at? Because you always never had no cardio problems. It's like, where'd that come from? Is that natural?
It wasn't so much. I didn't do nothing special. It was when I wrestled in college and high school, I was always a bigger guy. You know, my senior year in college, not senior year, freshman year in college, I got to like 300 pounds, 297.8. But when I wrestled, I always studied film of the little guys. I was telling somebody this yesterday. A kid, tall guy, came to spar, and he asked me the same question. How's your cardio so crazy, bro? And I was like, when I was 300 pounds, I was studying 125ers and 133 pounders wrestling. So when I went to wrestling practice, I was trying to mimic everything the small guys was doing. So being a big guy doing that and they moving super fast, I had to work on my, I had to be able to do that for 7 minutes constantly through practice. So we have 30-minute grind matches, and the whole time I'm thinking, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. So being a big, hefty guy doing that, your cardio is going to get, I can move for 300 pounds for 7 minutes. But as the weight fell off my body and I got smaller and smaller and smaller, it was like a cakewalk to do that. I was able to move 30, 40 minutes live and never stop moving because I'm not carrying the same weight I used to. And then when it came into fighting, the aspect of, I can use my hands now instead of having to snap somebody's head, pulling somebody's body. I just throw my hands, and that takes less cardio. And then I still got my explosion. So when I explode through them, it's like once we hit the mat, that's when it's on. That's when the cardio really turns on. But if we stand up, I can still do it either way because I did it for so many years since I was in 3rd grade to my senior year in college, wrestling at that same pace over and over and over. So now when I hit the mat, it's just boom, second nature, chain wrestle, put it together, turn it on. And that's it. And now it's the same way. I still, when I train, same regimen, put my weight vest on, whatever it is, move constantly. Never stop. Never stop. On that rest, active rest, jump on a bike, jump rope, shadow box, whatever it is, don't stop. Never let your lungs recover. So when I get into that fight, I can sit on the stool in between that whole minute and conversate with the coach. I'm not asking for water. I'm not trying to catch my breath saying, hold on. You listen to my fights, and me and Mark Henry are having a conversation every time, in between the rounds, because I'm cool. 5 minutes is nothing. All right, what we doing now, coach? Where we at? What we need to do? Should I do this? Should I do that? All right, give me a squirt. All right, let's go do it.
How often do you guys like switch up stuff? Because sometimes we hear you get bored in training, doing the same routine. So like, how often do you guys like switch up from day to day to kind of keep it interesting, so to speak?
I mean, well, Mark Henry, the miss is never the same. That you can, like I say, you might as well never listen to the corner when he's calling because it's always changing up. It's kind of like that when we hit mitts. We come up with codes this day. And even like the day of the fight, we've been in the locker room. He'll want to add something else in the locker room. Let's switch up. We're going to do this different. But we so used to the change up. It's like calling an audible in the NFL. You got that play. There's a reason we call audible. You got to be prepared for something. Be prepared for something might change at the line of scrimmage. And that happens all the time in the cage. All right, we're prepared for this, but now we got to change it. This guy's catching you when you slip to the left, and he's waiting for this. So we're going to do this, 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 and this. So we got codes for every possible situation in the game so we can switch it up. And the same thing with jiu-jitsu, our strength and conditioning. Everything is changed so we never get accustomed. We don't get in the flow. So many people used to hitting mitts one way, doing one thing. Yeah. They're kind of like music, like one-hit wonders. They're known for knocking somebody out, and that's it. And they go to the gym, and they just work their strike, and they work that power shot over and over and over. Then they get taken down. It's a fish out of water. What do we do now? That ain't
I saw a good meme. We're friends with Dean Thomas on the show. Tell me what you think of this. It has fighter, but coach, this type of training is boring. He said, me, maybe, but not as boring as sitting alone in a room after a loss.
Oh, who could that be? One of Dean Thomas's fighters. I ain't gonna say Tyron Willie, but
no, he just put that in general. I'm saying, what do you think about that people that like that have that mentality?
Oh yeah, that's cute. I don't want to be in the locker room lonely. That's why I work the way I do because I don't want to get embarrassed on TV. There's been times when I go out there and get knocked out. Jimmy, I got knocked out in the first round. Granted, it sucked, but at the same time, I knew. Due to training camp, it wasn't like I stayed away from anything. I worked hard. I worked my ass off that whole camp, so I had no regrets. The regrets I had is, like I said, I was working hard, but I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. I wasn't paying attention to the small details of when somebody faked not to reach out. That was a reaction I always had. I never catched it. I watched my film every sparring. I never caught the fact when somebody faked, I would do this. I'll take my hand away from my face. I go from here to here every time. Jimmy saw that. He saw it early in the fight. He saw he faked once. I went like this. He faked and then caught me with the hook. And now I study film and I notice those things. Certain times I drop my hands doing certain things. I go to take a shot and I drop my hands too soon. Open myself for a knee or a kick. So you go back and you study that. And I work shadow box and have somebody in front of me. I want you to do this to me and just make me realize I got to keep my hands here no matter what. Or I got to move this way. Or I got to move that way. Or I'm going to shoot now. I'm going to hop back then. Or I'm going to hop in then. Pay attention to those little details. And you do that situational training over and over and over. That when you get into the fight, it's second nature. You don't have to tell yourself anymore. You just did it.
I know you were cool with OSP. I'm pretty sure you were cool with Jimmy. Did they tell you this? Like, it's like, say, bro.
OSP or Jimmy, after the fight, we was at the bar at the hotel. Everything was closed. And he came up to me like, brother, I want to tell you, you are a tough fighter. I've studied all your fights. You are good. And the thing he told me, he said, the only thing, you make little mistakes and you need to get bigger. He said, focus on your little mistakes and get bigger. And at that time, I walked in fight week that week at like 214, 212. You know, I was small then. I walked around like 216. I didn't really cut weight like I thought I did. Now I walk around outside of camp, 235, 240. You know, after Jimmy said that, I went back. I started eating different and lifting. I got big. I started paying attention to those small details. Then after OSP fight, like I said, me and him was cool from training a couple years prior at the Exos. We did some thing with the UFC together. And he told me after the fight, we went to his locker room to congratulate him, me and my wife, and he was like, bro, I'm going to tell you right now, I'll never fight you again. He was like, put you down, like the pressure on you, like the pressure you had was something I didn't even expect. He said, in my head and my coach said, the only way you can get this kid is you hit him with a head kick knockout. He keeps leaning the wrong way. You got to throw that kick. That's the only way we're going to finish it. Throw the kick. And he did it. And then one of my old coaches I talked to, I think a week later, Duke Rufus had another fight. He said the same thing. You doing the boxing defense where you slip and you leave your hands behind or you drop your hands. You have to, if you're going to go to the left or right, you got to keep your hands up to block and bring that extra stability. And that was something I worked on, you know, little details. And now I travel. I've always done it, but when I travel to gyms and spar, or guys come to my gym, after we're done, the first thing I ask them is, what do I need to work on? What did I do good and what did I do wrong? You know, it could be a guy that's an amateur. I want to know, what did you see that you caught me on? So I know to go back and work on that so it won't happen the next time.
Go slip and dip it in the real fight.
Yeah, you got to, man. That's pretty cool to hear, though, like that, you know, you kind of go out of your way to hear from everybody because, like, I think some guys kind of feel themselves a little too much and
very much
aren't open to that kind of criticism from, you know, their peers. And I think, that's a special skill to have in itself, to be able to go up to, you know, anybody in the gym and be like, hey, what did you think? And, be open to that criticism and to what they see.
A man's biggest enemy is his ego.
100%.
You know, ego or pride. You 100%. Could be like I couldn't see John Jones being in his gym, letting some amateur tell him what he did wrong. You know, I'm sure if an amateur come up and try to tell John Jones what he did wrong, everybody gonna laugh. But I'm the kind of guy I will listen. You know, we got amateurs like that. I got one amateur that I've had in his gym. I think he's only won one fight out of 4. If he say something to me and it makes sense, you know, I'm gonna think on it. But if he say something that's kind of stupid, it's like, all right, go on. That don't even make sense. If you can't show, it makes sense. But if somebody's at the edge of the cage the whole time watching me because I'm somebody he looks up to, then after a while I'm sitting there talking to the coaches. If I hear him say, "Oh yeah," and you kept dropping your left hand, well, guess what? When I'm studying film, I'm gonna look to see if he's telling the truth. Am I dropping that left hand? Or when you're not penetrating all the way through, you kind of like shooting and stopping your feet. All right, so I'm going to watch the film. Am I shooting and driver? Am I shooting? And once I hit him, I'm stopping. Am I shooting through him or am I shooting to him? There's a difference. And, you know, if it's something a kid say that made sense, so next time I'm going to ask him. If he's sitting there, what did you see today? You know, he might think I'm just joking, but no, what'd you see? What'd I do? Or what you like that I do something cool today or did I do something bad? You know, just something like that to get conversation going with these kids. Definitely at Nick Catone's gym because there's so many spectators there at all times. The gym is so big. And if I see people that studying me through the cage, I'm always conversating after. Like, yeah, I'm trying to do this, and this. And starting that conversation, I'm like, yeah, I see you did this. I thought you was going to do this. And now it's like something in my head. Next time I'm going to try that, you know? Just start a conversation just to see where somebody take it and just keep building.
That's dope, man. That's dope. Yeah, man. Corey Anderson getting ready to take on Johnny Walker, UFC 244. Before we let you go, man, what do you make of the extra belt? It's kind of like a ode to the WBC or the WBC doing like their little one-off belts, like the little Mayan belts and things like that. What do you make of the BMF title?
Rubbish.
He said like Eddie Hearn.
Right.
And here's what it is. Like I put like this, like Rumble told me. Me and Rumble was talking a couple weeks ago. When we was at that media thing in LA. He's like, "Who gives a fuck about a BMF? What you gonna do when you retire and you never got to the belt? You gonna tell your kids, oh, it's a BMF champ? Then what about the real champ? Like as far as they're concerned, the BMF is Kumar Usman right now. He's the champ.
Yes,
that's
100%.
Like 100%. You the BMF for the night. That's about it. So." That's my thoughts.
Do you in the psyche? I know you look at all aspects, mental, physical. Do you feel like, I'm gonna say exercise demons, but going back to the Gardens, that was your last loss? Does that figure in any of your mindset, or that was 2 years ago, another time, another place, another Corey Anderson?
I mean, the only thing I'm thinking about the Garden is time for me to get my wrong or to do my wrongs right. You know what that means? Like, it ain't no demons like, oh, I gotta prove something. Oh my God, it can happen again. It's yeah, I can go tell my kids, yeah, when I fought in the Garden, or I can tell my kids when I fought, I dominated the Gardens. You know, I lost my first one. I came back, and I can say I won underneath the bright lights in Madison Square Garden. You know, that's it. Ain't nothing to prove. Ain't nothing to myself. It's to say, to me, I don't care if it was in an alley. They said, you got to fight Johnny Walker out back at the UFC PI. All right, win and win. Let's do it. You know?
I mean, with all the smoke, so we love this guy.
But the fact that I can say I got the victory in Madison Square Garden, that is something you kids, when they realize the history behind the Garden, they're like, man, they can tell their friends that my dad fought in Madison Square Garden, or my dad dominated somebody in front of however many thousand people right here in Madison Square Garden one day. You know, that's the difference in that statement.
I tell Matt he hadn't been yet. It's just another. And I'm coming from somebody that's from Dallas. It's just another atmosphere. I went to that card that you lost. I went to the one that Connor won, and I went to see Triple G just 2 weeks ago. And even that night, once you got there, it's like stuff gonna bust off, and then Triple G should have lost. It's just crazy when you go in that arena on fight night. It's a whole sick kind of atmosphere. And I've seen fights in Vegas, LA, here in Dallas. It's just a whole. The Garden it's what it's cracked up to be.
It's like you said, it is. I was there for the McGregor, the first UFC one. I've been there for every fight at the Garden. And yeah, every time it's just been a little different than the other ones. When McGregor fought, especially, that place was, woo, man. That place was,
like, he didn't come out to 1 o'clock local time, and it was still rocking at 1 a.m. It was like you thought the fight was at 9 o'clock at night, like regular time. All the energy in there.
I think when the PFL did a tournament last year on New Year's Eve and the year before when they were still World Series, I believe that through the midday, that was like 12 o'clock. And I think it was packed. It's just the Garden. You know, New York is always booming downtown. I go down there to train. I go down there at night. The traffic is the same, whether it's 8 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock at night. People are in and out of the MSG or Penn Station. There's always something going on.
It's definitely one of the best venues in the world, and yeah, man, you get to showcase your skills once again, man. UFC 244, we will be watching obviously very closely, man. We appreciate your time coming on the show once again, man. Thanks for it, and we look forward to this fight, man. We can't wait for it.
Thank you guys for having me on the show once again, and I can't wait either 2 weeks. Time to go out there and make noise. We're either going out on our shield or we're gonna go out there with it. So we're gonna go out there and do work either way.
Please welcome to the Slip and Dead podcast, making the Slip and Dead debut, former heavyweight lineal champion and former heavyweight WBO champion, Shannon the Cannon. Let's go, champ Briggs.
Look at him, y'all. Let's go, champ. What up, champ?
Shannon, if y'all don't know, is training Logan Paul for the KS1 fight. What's the name?
KSI.
KSI fight. The YouTube fight. For people like my co-host that say that these two should be even get this pub, what you want to say?
Man, first of all, they crazy because this is what boxing needed, man. This is what boxing needs. It needs new meat, new people, new fans, and that's what Logan Paul and KSI is bringing to the table. A brand new bunch of kids who never watched boxing, wasn't interested in boxing. I'm in Universal Studios right now, and I've been approached by 10 kids already that say, hey, aren't you Logan Paul's trainer? They wasn't watching boxing before, but they're going to be tuning into that fight. So it's a great thing for boxing.
What to say, because, you know, me and Shannon kicked a little bit in L.A. during the Spence Porter fight week. Is it saying for you, somebody that's a former champion, they don't even know you as former heavyweight champion. They know you more as Logan Paul's trainer.
That's okay. I'm not, that doesn't bother me at all. I'm happy that they know me, period, because there's a lot of fighters walking. Yeah, there's a lot of fighters walking around here, great legends. And guess what? People don't know who they are. It's a new era. It's new people, new kids. Everybody's got a computer in their pocket. They got a phone. Everyone's not watching boxing. People watching basketball, baseball, football. These kids, first of all, they gaming now. They're not even playing sports. So the fact that they even watching this is a blessing for boxing.
So, Chan, maybe you can give me some insight onto this, because this is my biggest gripe with the whole thing, is that you got one guy who's got 19 million followers on YouTube, another one with 20. You know, you got damn near 40 million YouTube subscribers between the two of them. Why didn't they come together and do some sort of like simulcast on both their YouTube channels? Why go through the zone to do this?
They did that already. We did that for the first fight. It did record-breaking numbers. It was great.
Right.
But the zone, they see the power in these guys' celebrity and the fact that they're gonna get subscriptions now, more subscriptions. So that was a smart move for them. If HBO would have did this, they might be in business right now, in the boxing business. Now, it's rumors that Showtime is leaving the boxing business as well. So this is great that we actually bringing new fans to the sport, and I'm looking forward to this. And we got bigger things going on, by the way. We got bigger fights coming with more celebrities that's gonna bring interest to the boxing world.
So this is not a one-off thing for Logan?
No, Logan's gonna be a champion in 3 to 5 years. He's gonna be a world champion.
Yeah, because he's actually taking it seriously. He's really trying to be a fighter, right?
100%. He brought me in for that. I didn't come here to play games. I didn't come out to California, and I'm here with my family. Say what's up, y'all. Y'all on the best boxing podcast in the world. Say what's up. What's up? Let's go, champ. Woo! Let's go, champ. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but this is great for boxing, and I'm happy this is happening.
Okay. Yeah, that was my biggest thing. So what's Logan's plan? Like, obviously this is a big fight against KSI for the general public's interest. Is he gonna be like on a regular like pro boxer schedule? Or like what's the plan going forward after this?
We're gonna stay busy. We're gonna be fighting once to twice a month for the next 3 to 5 years, and he's gonna stay busy, man, because he didn't have amateur experience. He's only had one amateur fight. He's turning pro with one amateur fight. We got to cook him slow. We ain't going to rush it. We don't care if we have 100 fights. 100 of the right fights. I don't care if he's 99-0 or 99 knockouts. I don't care what nobody say. He's going to be champion in 3 to 5 years.
Well, where's this confidence coming from, and what weight class? Like, what are they fighting this fight at?
They fighting at 199, which is cruiserweight. But, Logan's 24 years old. He's a grown boy. He may be, who knows, in the future, he may be 215, 220 one day, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. So, this is obviously like one of those, it's a weird thing, you know. What makes this different than, like, I guess, like the celebrity boxing things that we've seen in the past and stuff like that? Is it because Logan Paul really wants to be an athlete, or is it just because it's bringing in this new generation of fans? Like, what's the difference between this and like these like weird like little celebrity boxing matches that we've seen?
Well, we all know from watching celebrity boxing in the past and watching the KSI Logan Paul fight, the first one, you can actually see, we all know by watching that fight, that Logan has ability. He has the strength, he has speed, he has ability. Anybody watching that fight can say, wow, this kid was throwing long punches. He was doing his thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So how much has he improved since that fight? Like, what's some wrinkles can we expect to see?
Say that again, Chuck.
I said, how's he improved since that last fight? What's some wrinkles we can expect to see?
Again, like I said, like if you look at any celebrity boxing match, compared to Logan's skill, watch the fight. Watch especially the first 2-3 rounds. His ability, his jab, his right hand is straight. His defense, you know what I mean? You can tell he really got ability. Whereas KSI was a guy who even showed grit. He kept coming forward. He got stronger as the fight went on. He showed a lot of desire to win, even though Logan was the better boxer. So that's what separates, him from those two guys from a celebrity boxing match. Any celebrity guys, you know what I mean? Those guys really train hard, and both of those guys got talent. So both of them can make it in the future. It's a shame that KSI gonna get knocked out in his first pro fight. You know what I mean?
Is the beef real?
Yeah, they don't like each other. They hate each other.
What's the beef about?
KSI, he's a big YouTuber in England, and Logan's a big YouTuber here. And KSI, he wanted to, get some shine. He wanted to, some attention, so he started calling Logan out. Logan wasn't even thinking about the dude. He was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. He gave it a shot. He went over to his country. He spanked him. They made it a draw. And now they're going to do it again, but on the zone for more money in front of more people.
Fair enough. Yeah, man. It's going down November 9th, right?
At Staples Center.
I mean, that's a big venue for a fight like this, right?
Well, you got a great undercard. You got Billy Joe Sanders. You got Devin Haney. And somebody else with a big name. So it's a great undercard. You got all the YouTube fans. So it's going to be a great card, man. I mean, for the zone and Eddie Hearn to come together and do this was the big thing because it's a power move for boxing. And you guys in the future will see more kids coming to the sport that wasn't coming now.
What do you think about people like, they got Devin Haney, future champion, Billy Joe Saunders, a current champion, and they're the undercard. They're not the main event.
It's okay. No disrespect to them. If it was me on the undercard, I'd be happy to be getting that fan base, a new fan base. That's what we're talking about, guys. Everyone's always talking about how UFC is better than boxing and how it's bigger than boxing or whatever. Now we got two kids that's bringing millions of fans that wasn't watching boxing before that's watching boxing now. This is a blessing. Everybody who's talking about, oh, what's going on? Oh, this is bad for boxing. What are they talking about? They're idiots. They're stupid. They're just talking for nothing because a fan is a fan. We need fans. Maybe these kids will become boxers. More importantly, more kids will be like, you know what? I want to be a boxer now. These kids never heard of Shannon Briggs. They never heard of Mike Tyson. They never heard of Muhammad Ali. They never heard of Roy Jones. But they heard of Logan Paul and KSI. So now they're getting into boxing. They looking me up now. They're looking at my videos are going up. And my old they going back watching videos and coming back saying, champ, I didn't know who you was, but I do now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did they see the Beyonce Wilder one?
Yeah, they watching everything. They finding out about Wilder. They find about everything because they're doing their research. And you got to understand, these are smart kids. These ain't no dumb kids. These are kids with phones. They're reading. They on their computers. These are smart kids. They're going to do their research. They're looking up fights of mine and other people. So this is new and good for the sport.
Do you think somebody like Dana White that's supposed to be entering boxing in the very, very near future, you think they may try to pull a page out of this and try to do this to get their feet into the door?
I don't know what Dana White is doing. I heard for a long time he's doing something in boxing, but it's been rumored. So until they do it, I don't know. But I don't know what he's going to pull off, man. We doing our thing. We've got some big fights coming up with, besides Logan, we got Jake Paul. We got a lot of other celebrity influencers, a few rappers as well that's talking about fighting. So we're just trying to bring that into the base as well as conventional regular boxers, man. Real, not to say real boxers, but other fighters as well.
How close are we to an all YouTube card when everybody is like a YouTuber fighting each other with the zone?
Say that one more time.
How close are we to a full YouTube card where everybody on the card is going to be a YouTuber?
Well, I don't know, but I hope it happens because we got some hell of a YouTube fighters and we got some rappers and different fighters as well, different artists that's going to become boxing, man. People love boxing. Why should it be limited to who we say or the conventional bout, man? One of these guys, they want to be a top champion. Then what we going to say? Come on, man. We're going to rewrite history. The guys want to fight. The guys want to fight. Bottom line.
Yeah. What are there any rappers in particular that you mentioned that have reached out to you for training?
I can't. I signed a confidential, agreement with these guys, so I got to keep it hush because of lawyers and stuff like that. I'm eager to talk, you know what I'm saying, but I can't, y'all. I'm very eager.
We don't want to get you in trouble.
Thank you, champ. Thank you.
I saw you post on IG. You were trying to get at Klitschko for a little charity thing. What's going on?
Yeah. I'm trying to box him around, box his head in a circle for a few rounds. But he's chicken. He's chicken. You know what I'm saying? So he eat a lot of chicken sandwiches from Popeyes.
What you get the idea to do your videos? We saw you on the suburb in your pool. You're like, let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Whoa, champ.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I bust my ass that day.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man. But that like your IG is hilarious. Obviously, like you got the marketing brand in with the Let's Go Champ. So like when these kids like that you're talking about that are new to the game, they like, all right, I'm gonna go check out your IG, and then they see all this. Like, do they come back at you and be like, man, you're hilarious, champ? Like, do they show you that kind of love?
A lot of them. First of all, they be dissing me, and then they go do a little research. They come back, they be like, oh, snap, champ, I ain't really know who you was. Oh, man, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good. It's fun. It's all fun and games, but I think Logan's going to have a great career. I think that he's going to smack a lot of people up. He's going to surprise. We're going to take our time, though. Like I said, we're going to cook it slow. We're going to cook slow, and we're going to come out with a phenomenal dinner.
I know you're an East Coast guy, Shannon. How long you plan on staying on the West Coast? Is it kind of weird being on the opposite coast?
Nah, I've been coming out here since I was young, since I was like 18, 19. I'm 47, so I'm familiar with the territory, and I love it out here. I love California. I love everywhere, to be honest with you, champ. I mean, if you look at my IG, I'm all over the world, and everywhere I go, I feel like I'm home. So I get real comfortable real quick. I make myself comfortable.
That's cool to look back with. Regardless if you go to the Hall of Fame or not, you can say you're a lineal champion and you beat people like George Foreman.
Yeah, it's cool, man. It's just, I do it for them right here. I do it for her. It's my beautiful wife. You know what I'm saying? That's my beautiful, and it's my daughter.
Hello.
That's my other son. That's my oldest son. That's my little son.
You got the whole crew?
Yeah. I do it for them, man. I do it for my family, bro. So, it feels good to be able to provide for them, and it's my job. I get up and go to work, and whether it's training somebody or promoting or my business deals, or I'm fighting, I'm doing it for my family, so I'm blessed.
I mean, yeah, like I don't know if you realize, like you have the most iconic, like out of the ring moment. Like when you chase down Klitschko on the lake, like that's my favorite out of the ring ever.
Look at him! It's the champ, Shannon the Cannon. Let's go, champ.
Mine's when he walked up to Deontay before Deontay even had a belt. They called him Beyonce Wilder.
Beyonce Wilder. Yeah. He's doing his thing though. I'm glad to see him. I actually like the guy. I like his, I like he winning, the fact that he winning. He's the African American heavyweight champion. He's I think the first champion since me, American. Excuse me. Pardon me, champ. He's American to win the title. Pardon me, brothers. And but he's doing his thing, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah. Do you think he's the best heavyweight we got going with him? Got to fight Fury. He got this fight with Ortiz. Are you gonna be in Vegas for that? We're gonna kick it in Vegas. I'm in Vegas for that fight.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Vegas for that fight too. So I'm looking forward to that fight. Who's
the best heavyweight? Because you got him and Ortiz, him and Fury. You got the Joshua and Ruiz.
I'm the best heavyweight in the world.
Still the best.
That's right.
So who you got with it out of Wilder and Fury? Who you got out of Ortiz, Ruiz and Joshua too?
I got Fury. I got Wilder right now beating anybody because he's on his high horse. He's feeling himself. He's feeling what he's doing. What he's doing is phenomenal. So what he's doing is just like he's knocking jokers out. You can't talk about that. That right there, that's it. He's knocking them out.
What about Ruiz and Joshua too?
What's up?
Have you guys come back? Have you guys?
Pardon me, champ. Go ahead, y'all.
Oh, no problem.
Who you got? Joshua and Ruiz too.
I got. I'm not sure. I gotta wait close to the fight. I want to see their bodies fight time.
There you go. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want to look when they're in the ring.
They say your boy Ruiz cut up now.
You what?
They say your boy Ruiz is cut up now.
Yeah, I mean, but I still want to see when they're in the ring. That's what let me know.
Yeah. Are you going with Saudi Arabia since you go all over the world? You gonna be out there?
I was going on the fight But I think that Jake's got a fight coming up right after that. So we getting ready for a big card and a big surprise where it's going to be at, too.
Okay. We'll look forward to that for sure.
Yeah.
Now, you the man with the plan. You like the zone informant up in here.
Oh, man. Nah, I'm just working, champ. I'm just working, trying, like I said, take care of this family. And I'm looking forward to, I'm looking forward to bringing something real big to boxing in 2010. I got something real big happening next year. I can't talk about it too much.
Got a lot of irons in the fire, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So when will you officially hang him up? Because you hadn't fought since 2016. Will we see you one more time?
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna fight next year, 2020, and then hopefully, I'm gonna fight next year for sure, 100%, 1,000%. And then after that, I'm gonna see how I feel. I think I'm gonna fight till I'm 50. I'll be 48 December 4th. I'm gonna fight another 2-3 years. And then I ain't never gonna hang him. I told Shane Mosley yesterday, and he said something about he retired. I said, you ain't never retired. You just relaxing. He said, never retired.
That's funny, man. Yeah.
Never retired.
Yeah, man. We look forward to that for sure. And obviously, I mean, I guess so. The short-term goal for you is basically get Logan Paul to a spot where he can become a respected boxer in this space.
That's the goal. He didn't have he had one amateur fight, and we're gonna take our time. We're gonna have he's gonna be 49-0 before y'all know it.
Man, that's crazy. Well, it's going down on November 9th, KSI versus Logan Paul 2, and we're talking to the coach of Logan Paul. Let's go, champ.
Look at him.
Here on the Slip and Dip podcast, man. We appreciate you joining us, man. This has been awesome.
we definitely be in touch, man.
All right, Chan. Well, thank you for having me on the show, guys. I really appreciate you. And like I said, I got the best boxing podcast in the world.
We appreciate that. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Let's go, champ.